Hello friends, I am jumping into our Blends and Beyond for a very impromptu live. They might happen like this, and it's been a while since I have gone live natively in Facebook. So it might take me a little bit to get used to. So if you happen to be watching, I'm hoping that I can see comments and stuff. It purely spontaneous. So I thought we might colour in one of the cupcakes from the Circles Sayings stamp set, and hopefully everyone can hear me. Linda, can you hear me? I can see you watching. If you want to jump in and just say if you can hear me or not. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've actually gone live natively in Facebook without using a third-party app or anything. So I just want to make sure I am set up correctly. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I can actually zoom in this way. I will be able to zoom in like this. Yay! So I can get nice and close when it comes time to start our colouring, which I can't do in a third party. So, and then you guys are going to get this first, and then I'm going to download it and pop it onto YouTube. So I thought we might do the blue one, and I was thinking maybe I'll do a two ways of colouring. The first one, how you would probably normally colour, and then I will show you my souped up version. So I know, good morning, good morning. I just thought, hey, let's do an impromptu thing and do just a little single image and see how we go. So normally you guys, well, normally, you know, I'm not going to say you guys because I do it too. We would probably be inclined to stamp in black. And I'm just gonna play here. It's, you know, I did color it once. A lot of the times I forget how I've colored things and they possibly change. Oh, that needs re-wetting. That's a little bit on the dry side. I've been away for a week, so everything has dried out. So I'm going to pop that aside. I'm going to bring this down a little bit so it's closer to me maybe, and get in here and zoom in nicely. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to start off with, I'm going to be using the Azure Afternoon, which I really quite like. So let me just get, like I said, I've got to rearrange myself when I'm doing this, but I wanted to be able to zoom in so you could see. So, you know, doing a simple colouring first, we would probably outline all of our area that we want to colour. Okay, we would probably do something like that. We might do a little bit of flicking on the inside, and I'm using the bullet tip for this one, and that's the dark one. And then we would probably just come in and we would probably just fill that area, right? Like so. And we've got our little bit of two coloured blending, and that would be that. And no, there's nothing wrong with this. This is a really quick way of colouring. Now I did stock up and I've got all of my, I know, Wendy, it's great that you can zoom in. This is one thing I wish that I could do with that other program, but I can't. But I can only be on one channel at a time with this. Okay, so I've got a 500 and a 300. I don't know whether you can see that. My thumb's probably in the way. A 500 and a 300. And I've got to think the 300, I think, is darker than the 500. If you're not sure, we can just do a swatch because I'm probably not going to use these. Yep, so the 300 is darker. So we're going to do the cupcake. So we're just going to throw a little bit of colour down, and we'd probably put some on this side as well. And then we will probably just fill in the gap there. Like that. There's our cupcake. And now the icing, I want to do white frosting. So we will probably go for a grey. And I'll probably just use one because you know, it's pretty full on. And we would probably just do something like that. Frosting is really tricky because especially with this one, it's just a simple frosting design, but there's so much going on in frosting when you really look at it. And then we'll just go over the top of that with our colorless lifter. Okay, so that's a really, really quick way of coloring your cupcake, and there's probably nothing wrong with that. That'll settle down. Just give it time. It's got to do its little blending magic. So, but what if we want to just step it up a little bit? So this time I'm going to stamp in my grey granite ink. I should cut that off and then I can have them side by side. Hey, I'll do that. So let me just cut you off and then I can have you side by side. Okay, so we are now going to, what did I do? How did I color this in the first time? I think I did my grays first. So I'm going to do my dark gray granite, and I am just going to just really, really, really lightly flick with just the absolute barest of touch on my paper. And yes, I still have trouble talking and coloring at the same time. So I'm just trying to be really, really soft. And the reason for that is, one, not to trash my nib so quickly. And also because I will just want a really gentle flick. Oops, throwing my lids around. And then I'm going to come in with my light grey granite, and again with the barest of, like, just try to be really super gentle, and I'm just going to extend that. So I'm going to colour over the top of my dark grey granite and just extend it out very, very gently. So it does take me a little bit longer because I am trying to be very gentle. And then I'm going to come in with my colour lifter, and I'm going to use the side, and again being gentle, but I'm just going to swipe that over the entire area. Okay, really gently. And the colour lifter sort of like eats into it, and see, so can you see how this one here has actually settled down, like it's done all its workings? So that one will continue to do its workings on that one. Okay, so next I'm going to do my cupcake. So, and for this one, I'm going to use my dark first, which was the 300. And again, with the tip, going very, very lightly and very gently, I'm just going to go around under the edge of here, and I'm just trying to put as little as pressure on here as possible. And then I'm actually going to go around the little top of the paper. So there's not a lot of space left that you can see of the actual cupcake. So just going really, really gently. And then I'm going to come in with my light one, and I will use the bullet one for this one. And I'm just going to sort of do little stippling where I can, sort of. Okay, and then I can come back with my dark one, and I'm just going to add a little bit of stippling with the tip of my dark one as well. And then I can come back because I want it a little bit dotty, so I don't want it full coloured in. Okay, so now we will get on to the cupcake paper, and I'm actually going to use 3 colours for this one. So I'm going to bring in, I actually didn't swatch this one before I started, so I should perhaps do that, right? So put down a bit of the dark, and this one is the light Asia, so do that, so that'll blend nicely. And then I'm going to bring in the dark balmy blue, so let's see how that one blends. Yep, I reckon that one will be pretty good. I don't think I used 3 colours in my original cupcake on my card, but let's have a crack. So going again very gently, there's a little bit of the inside of the cupcake paper up here, so that will be dark. And then starting from the bottom, so we know that when we've got the ridging up and down, you'll get light and shade. So just very carefully, and I just enjoy colouring. I'm just going to go a little bit darker on some of these areas. Again, just going really gently on my nib. Okay, and then I'm just going to pop a little bit down around the base because we'll probably have a little bit of shadowing. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my light and go over what I've done. So you can see this one takes a little bit longer, but it also gives you a lot more variation in your colorings. Okay, and then with my, actually I'm just going to pull out, see, this is the fun part, I'm just going to pull out my light one and see, I'll do another color swatch. See, this is where all those scraps of paper that we have come in handy, the scraps of card. So I'm just going to do another color swatch, but this time I'm just going to see what it looks like with the light. Actually, I might use the light balmy blue instead of the dark balmy blue. And then for this one, I'm just going to go over what I have done. And then I'm just going to go over the entire lot. Okay, so you can see how I've got quite a bit of difference in my 2 cupcake papers. Now, some fun stuff that we can do is come in with some pencils. So I've got, this is the Stampin' Up! Grey, Basic Grey watercolor pencil, and this one is a Prismacolor white one. Oh my gosh, I got them yesterday, and when I got it, I picked them up yesterday, and when I got them, this is the size my pencil was, but unfortunately, of course, on my white one, whoops, I'll bring it down here so you can actually see. On my white one, the end had been snapped off, and it wasn't a nice point like that one. So of course, when I've sharpened it, that's how much it took to get a really good sharp point on my pencil. So I've said, it's my birthday coming up next month, and I've said to my boys, you can buy me a full, apparently you can buy these white Prismacolor pencils in packs of their own. So I've said to them, you can get me a full pack of white Prismacolor pencils, because I have a feeling we're going to probably go through them. Okay, so with my grey, and so these are watercolor pencils from Stampin' Up!, this one here, and it doesn't really lay down a huge amount of color. So I'm just going to try and get a little bit of shade going down on one side. And then I'm going to try and pop a little bit of white on the other. So you have to, actually have to press fairly hard. I'm going to try one of the Prismacolor pencils in the grey later on, but you don't have to put as much pressure to get colour out of the Prisma ones. I've played with the white one a smidge. And then we can, so this one is super soft. You just, you don't have to try and put down so much, but even just putting down a little bit of white, Gonna try and pick up some highlights, even though you probably can't see it too much on my paper, but it will make a difference. So I'm just trying to go in. So just depends on what look you like. If you want it a little bit darker, you can again come in and, you know, perhaps you could actually put some blue in there. Let's see, have I got, excuse me for a sec, my head will probably get in the way, but there is a blue pencil, Pacific Point. So you can actually go and add some extra blue around the base as well. So there you go. Just depends on what look you like, whether you want a really bold one or you want something a little bit more on the subtle side. Play around. You could stamp this one in black and color it in this way if you wanted to, or you could stamp it in grey granite and color this one. So here's the original one that I did. So, you know, again, I've colored it slightly different. Again, you just keep playing. That's the fun of it. You can just, so if you wanted it, if you wanted it a bit more bluer, then a little bit whiter, you can just, you know, add a little bit more into it. You will have to go over it again to tone it down, but you can just keep adding if you wish. It's all playtime. And I tend to keep going back over and over things, which, you know, I perhaps shouldn't always do, but so there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this little very impromptu colouring session, and so you guys will get to see it first. I will try and upload it and put it into YouTube as well. So thank you if you are watching on YouTube later on. Come and join our Blends and Beyond Facebook group, and I will pop a link in the description for the YouTube people. And for those who are joining me live, thank you very much, and we will see you again soon. So hope you've enjoyed. Bye.